Coronation Street spoilers with double heartbreak, Todd's escape plan, and Kit helps Carla. Things begin to take an even more disturbing direction for Todd Grimshaw as his involvement with Theo Silverton continues to emotionally wear him down in the upcoming Coronation Street episodes. But could this be the moment he finally stands up for himself? As next week starts, Theo convinces Todd to stay hidden in the flat for a few days, claiming he doesn't want anyone spotting his injuries and jumping to conclusions, despite being the one who inflicted them in a terrifying outburst. Although hesitant, Todd agrees, and when Summer Spellman later mentions that Todd canceled their plans because he supposedly traveled to London, Theo supports the lie. In reality, Todd remains alone in the flat, and as he anxiously looks out the window, he spots someone below and quickly pulls back. Unfortunately, it's already too late, as Summer later catches up with Theo in the pub and tells him she noticed someone inside the flat. She suggests it must have been an intruder. With no other option, Theo agrees to investigate, and when Gary Windus and Ben Driscoll insist on joining him for support, could Theo's deception be on the brink of being uncovered? After hearing about the supposed break-in, Dev Allahan stops by the flat. Todd steps out of the shower and must improvise, pretending he just returned from London and that the cut on his head is from an afternoon of drunken antics. Later on, Theo hands Todd a fitness watch and hints that now he's returned from London, he should resume training and aim for a 10K personal goal, leaving Todd deflated. When he comes back from a painful run, Christina Boyd invites him inside for a cup of tea, but Theo's expression darkens as it happens. By week's end, Theo reveals the exercise bike he purchased for Todd. As Summer and Billy Mayhew pass by, they notice the mark on Todd's face. Theo quickly claims Todd injured himself partying in London, but Billy remains doubtful. Later, Todd is testing out the bike when Danielle arrives, explaining she'll be taking the kids to Tenerife over Christmas. Todd is appalled, fearing Theo's reaction. Yet when Theo walks in, he surprisingly supports Danielle's decision. Soon after, Theo checks the fitness app and criticizes Todd for completing only one sprint. He then tries to pin Danielle's choice on Todd, causing Todd to snap. Saying he can't endure anymore, Todd prepares to walk away. But as Theo begins striking his own face, Todd is left in shock. What will he do next? Elsewhere on the street, Lisa Swain tells Carla Connor that despite Carla's beliefs, Lisa wants to be with her. But will Carla reconsider her choice to end their relationship? Meanwhile, with D.I. Costello still recovering in hospital, Lisa informs her ex-wife Becky Swain that they may have identified the youth responsible for the assault on Weatherfield's CID chief, a boy known as Soap. Becky pretends not to recognize the name, only to later meet with Soap to collect Costello's burner and personal phone. As he hands them over, the sound of police sirens interrupts. Soon after, Lisa tells Becky that doctors are planning to bring Costello out of his medically induced coma. Before that happens, Becky checks the hospital corridor and, once it's clear, grabs a syringe with the intention of killing him before he wakes. But when Lisa suddenly appears, could Becky's plan be about to unravel? Still working to uncover the truth, DC Kit Green tells Carla he's confident Becky was involved in Costello's attack, but without access to his phone, proving it may be challenging. Having abandoned her attempt to kill him, Becky thinks of another strategy while chatting to Costello's daughter in the hospital. She learns that the girl's birthday is September 22nd, and as she scrolls through holiday photos on Costello's iPad, Becky commits the screen unlock code to memory. But as Kit informs Lisa that the police have tracked down Costello's phone, has Becky already missed her opportunity? In another part of Weatherfield, Will Driscoll grins as he reads a message from Megan telling him she has applied for a role at Weatherfield High. Later at the Rovers, Megan tells Daniel Osborne she's received an email confirming her interview. He's pleased and shyly asks her out. When she agrees, Daniel is thrilled. But as Will seethes, could he risk exposing himself? Later, Liam Connor questions Will about his life in Hull and asks if he has a girlfriend. Will takes offense, and Liam's mum, Maria Windass, is shocked to see Will getting aggressive with her son. Back at the pub, Megan finishes a call and reveals she has been offered the teaching job. Daniel kisses her on the lips, and the moment turns passionate, leaving Will heartbroken as he watches on. Things aren't going much better for Will's brother, Ollie. When he suggests they spend Christmas Day together, Dee Dee avoids giving an answer, leaving him unimpressed. By the end of the week, Ollie announces that Dee Dee has broken up with him, prompting his grandmother Maggie to offer to intervene. But it appears there's more behind it, as Dee Dee confides significant news to Alia. Meanwhile, on the cobbles, Debbie Webster practices her speech for the Women in Business event, but loses her train of thought. And Carl Webster reassures her that it's perfectly acceptable to use notes. As the event begins, Carl tells Debbie he needs her login information so he can pay the staff. Debbie points him to where her notebook is, then steps onto the stage to introduce herself. However, when she tries to check her notes, she discovers the iPad screen is locked and in a moment of panic can't recall the password. Closing it, Debbie opts to give an impassioned speech, sharing that she has been diagnosed with dementia, what it means for her future, and how she plans to face it head-on. Meanwhile, Roy Cropper is flustered at work. When Nina Lucas mentions a letter he received that morning appeared to unsettle him, Shona Platt decides to sort through his post to uncover the truth. But how will Roy respond when he catches Shona going through his mail? Coronation Street's Vicky Myers discusses Lisa Swain's feelings for Carla Connor amid heartbreak. Detective Sergeant Lisa Swain has been struggling to navigate her emotions following the shocking return of her presumed dead wife, Becky. Vicky Myers, who portrays Lisa, has opened up about her character's complicated feelings for Carla Connor as their relationship faces new challenges with Becky's sudden reappearance. In September, Becky returned during their daughter Betsy's 18th birthday, confronting Lisa in the living room of her new home at number 6. Becky, who was thought to have died nearly 4 years ago while on duty, revealed she had been in witness protection in Spain after an undercover operation went wrong. Lisa's superior, D.I. Costello, was reportedly involved in faking her death. Her return couldn't have come at a more difficult time for Lisa. She and her new partner, Carla Connor, had just moved into their first home together and publicly got engaged outside the underworld factory after a series of failed proposals. This week on the soap, Costello suffers a major attack, and with her heart already under strain, viewers will see Carla deciding to end her relationship. Later, Carla delivers the news to Lisa, leaving her completely stunned. "It's not what Lisa wants," Myers explained. "At this point, she's numb. There's just so much going on. She clearly still loves Becky, but with Carla, she's never experienced anything like this. The relationship, the family dynamic, the maturity Betsy has shown since Carla entered their lives. Lisa felt like her family was complete, and then this bombshell shattered everything. Right now, she doesn't even know how she feels. Her heart's broken. She's confused. There's hope. But what does she do about Becky? What about Betsy? At this moment, Lisa feels like she can't do anything right.